the habits have gone, and then a year later you see somebody doing it, you think, gee, I used to do that, and you've forgotten it. You just grow.
Do you realise this is an enormous growth industry? I mean, think of all the millions of dollars that are spent on trying to give up smoking.
There is one Dr. Wells, you see, who was an alcoholic and also drug addiction, but not so much as alcoholism. And such a qualified man, just pasted. And Rustam brought him to me, another doctor. He's head of the psychiatry department in Amman. He brought him to me, and I looked at him, I said, now look at this man. Such a educated, such a good person, just lost. Out of frustration in his family and this and that, he took it. And when he became all right, now today he's in charge of 7 hospitals in London.
And he's Britain's leading expert on addiction therapy.
And he's working on that. And I told him, what do you do? He said, I come home and give them bandhas, that's all. He's curing people, so everybody has tremendous respect for him. Because you cannot cure people. He works out Sahaja Yoga.
That's interesting. Have you had a...
Well, I was working as a shop assistant, and I was on the verge of collapse from stress and overwork. And I got my realisation, and went along to the meetings. And I used to go to the ashram every night and have vibrations, and it pulled me right out until I got back to normal. And I was really nice. I was just there on the verge of nervous collapse.
Right.
So it changed me.
How old do you think he is now?
I don't know, I'm terrible at guessing people's ages, I'm always wrong.
And also you must mention how you love each other. That's very important. We have people from, say, this time we had people from 56 nations for our seminar in India. And the way they love each other, I mean, we never have a problem, never. They love each other, they look after each other. I mean, like universal brotherhood has been established. And to see that, I feel so very happy. We had Russians, we had Bulgarians, Romanians, we had people from East Germany, also from Hungary, Czechoslovakia. All this Western Bloc had also come. Plus we had people from all over, like Colombia and I mean all the rest of it, on the South American group, the North American group, and like that 56 nations. And just
It's greater than the...
Yes, my husband says he was in the
Monetary
United
Fund.
Nations, and he said, I can't think of any organization like this. I cannot think. There's no problem, there's no argument, nothing. Just enjoying each other.
Have you had an experience?
Yes, I can't say I was an extreme of anything, except perhaps physically. I had just, prior to discovering Sahaja Yoga, had a prolapsed disc, which turned out to have been a thing of long standing. And when when Srimataji first came to Australia, I was in hospital because they'd cut me open and done all sorts of things to me. And I was faced with having to wear a belt around me and a caliper on my leg, and also another thing on my shoe to keep my foot straight. And after about 9 months, I sort of fronted up to the doctor to see what my prognosis was. And he said, well, you're not going to get very much better. He said, you know, we've done all we can, but this has been going on for 20 years, and you know, there's a lot of damage done, and you've lost a lot of nerve function. And so there I was with all these things, you know, and a stick. I had a stick as well. And in the meantime, before this meeting with the doctor, I had discovered Sahaja Yoga. And this healing process, I have no doubt whatever that this is what was happening through the practices of Sahaja Yoga, just continued. And I went way past the period where my healing should have cut off. Till now, I haven't got any of those things, and I can walk reasonably well. I can't run very well, I'm not too good at dancing. I fall over.
I think it'd be
Apart
nice to...
from that, it's virtually disappeared.
Can any of this be put down to the power of positive thinking to a large degree?
Positive thinking is a mental process.
Yeah.
Mental process can only develop your ego. It cannot help you much. Because if you think positively, according to us, we go to the right side. And the left side is neglected, which is emotions. And such a person can become very dry because you can rationalize anything. The balance is not there. But in Sahaja Yoga, actually, not that you achieve balance, but also complete nourishment from the divine force.
You're actually getting an extra energy that
All
you
the
weren't
time.
having before,
Yeah.
all the time.
It's not only physical energies, physical, mental, emotional, and especially spiritual. And you are always joyous. Always joyous. And very happy person. Children are very happy. They become very intelligent as well as very compassionate. It's a very different world you enter into because it's all within you. You have to just touch that divinity.
Wow. I can't think of anything else to ask you.
I
She's
think
going to thoughtless
she's gone
awareness.
thoughtless. You've
Yeah.
gone thoughtless. That's one of the effects of it.
Yeah,
You just go thoughtless.
thoughtlessness. It's
Much.
thoughtless, there's no thought.
Maybe that's normal though.
No, it's very normal. At least now, if you want, you can think. Otherwise, you won't. Otherwise, you are bombarded by these thoughts. You don't want to have them. They go on troubling. Now you are free.
Now I'm free.
Yeah.
Wait a sec. Free to what?
Free
Free
to
to
think.
what?
Free to think. Free in every way. You see, once you get your realization, nothing is important than your being, so that you don't take to any drugs. Become so powerful, nothing can touch it. Nothing can dominate you. No habit. Nothing.
So you mean I'm not going to go out to the car and have a cigarette?
It's up to you. It's your free choice. Complete free choice.
You see, in Sahaja Yoga, it's complete free choice. Animals have no choice. Human beings have been given freedom to choose. Now, by trial and error method, they try to learn. But still they cannot go very far. But once you get realization, the light shows them that it's wrong. And they just don't do it. It's a simple, always I give them an analogy of a snake. Supposing it is darkness and you are holding on to a snake. And somebody tells you, oh, there's a snake, but you won't give up. You say, no, it's a rope. In the darkness, you can't up till the snake bites you. And then suddenly when you see a little flicker of light, you just drop it yourself. So I don't tell them, don't do this, don't do that. It just happens by themselves.
Right.
You become your own guide. You become your own guru. I don't have to tell you anything. You see yourself what is benevolent for you, what is joyous for you, what is good for you. Everything you see yourself, because it's all within yourself. Only like one light which is enlightened, one candle which is enlightened. Can enlighten another light, that's all. But there's nothing that has been done in such a way that you should feel obliged or nothing of the kind. It's just one light which is enlightened, gives light to everyone.
Thank you very much. It was fascinating. Thanks. Can I take a couple of pictures of you with my beginner's camera when everyone
please
else
do.
around here has got
Please do.
terrific ones?
Please do, that's already continuous.
Strange enough, this little camera has had pictures that have appeared in every magazine. It's just most embarrassing for cameramen.
Can't be worse than my husband. I'm hopelessly bad. I've never handled a camera all my life.
Oh, well. That's not very good. Yeah. I'll seen a couple, but it's very slow. It does everything automatically, so I can't ruin it.
It's automatic sort.
Yeah, automatic everything, thank goodness. I just have to aim.
Just like this. I know this one.
I'm sorry about the flash.
I know this one very well. It's very good.
It's magic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
She must be Jimmy, would you like some water?
Oh, thank you. What about the lady? She may like to have some.
Would you like
Water.
Would you like
Please have.
Okay, thank you. That's nice.
No.
Judy, if you can make it to the town hall tomorrow night, that'll be a very nice thing, I think.
It depends what I'm doing work-wise.
But only thing it should be, announcement must be clear cut wherever we are having the programs. So if you can give it in writing properly.
Yes, I'll have that.
Because it happened sometimes that we didn't give them and there was a confusion.
I'm getting to be a very well-read lady.
Yes.
Who's that?
The kitchen's locked.
Kitchen's locked. Ah, wonderful.
Well, I wish you well. I hope your Australian trip is very successful.
Thank you very much. Success for Australia. Australians really need it very much now. So many problems they have. And I feel really concerned. And so many are coming. I don't know. They should be alerted at least. Like AIDS, all these things. I don't know. They must be awakened.
Well, it looks like you're doing your bit to try. Looks like you're certainly trying to do your bit to do that.
I'm trying, but
Judy,
on my own.
Good for you.
That's like that,
That's what she wanted you to have. It's very good for you.
is it?
Yeah.
Try.
Yes, just try. It changes the molecular structure of the water and everything.
Yes, it does it.
One stream at a time, she's vibrated it. If you were ever feeling sick,
Once I was it's quite a fan here, committed. And he said, first to give immunization, then only taking oral. Then I got some water for me. Hi. He said, is it wine? I said, no, it's water. It's such a good surgery today. Lots of fans are here, Mr. Romanos.
so it's very special water. I'm sure you are
You
drinking
want some
more.
too?
No, we have some at home. You please have it.
You want some?
Doesn't sound like that.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens.
Let's see.
It's subtle, is it?
Judy, if you have any follow-up questions, I'll be at the other number that's on that kit I gave you. So,
There's so many other things, but you can tell us later on.
yes.
Gradually,
Thank
she
you.
knows
She's
inside of
got
that.
my number.
So we know how miraculous is this divine.
All right.
We have not explored this area, is the point. We cannot. This is the knowledge of the roots. We have the knowledge of the tree. And if you don't have the knowledge of the roots, the whole thing is very difficult.
There are being books written now about beta waves and what.
All they have written all nonsense, absolutely nonsense, without any authority, without any understanding. You see, God is such a subject, divine is such a subject. Anybody can write. Even Hitler can write, even Saddam can write. I mean,
Oh, they have.
oh, they have. You see, how can we stop them? Only think the way they are punished.
Thanks very much, Judy.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Very nice meeting you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, have a nice day in Brisbane.
Thank you. Thank you.
The first raga is Raksham Kalyan, connected with first energy center, that is Muladhara. Every energy center has a power. The Muladhara, the power is Sri Ganesha, and the quality is innocence. Om Tvameva Shri Ganesh, Ganesh Shri Adi Shakti Mata, Shri Nirmala तेरो ध्यान अति पावन, तेरो ध्यान अति पावन, तेरो ध्यान अति पावन। श्री गणेश कार्तिकेय, श्री गणेश कार्तिकेय, तेरो ध्यान अति पावन,
तेरो ध्यान अति पावन।
श्री गणेश कार्तिकेय, श्री गणेश कार्तिकेय, गौरी माता वंदन, गौरी माता वंदन, तेरो ध्यान अति पावन,
तेरो ध्यान अति पावन, तेरो ध्यान अति पावन।
तेरो ध्यान गणेश श्री गणेश कार्तिकेय गौरी माधव वंदन तेरु ध्यान अति पावन तेरु ध्यान अति पावन तेरु ध्यान तेरु ध्यान तेरु ध्यान अति पावन
बेगुन गुन गाए बेगुन गुन गाए बेगुन गुन गाए बेगुन गुन गुन गाए बेगुन गुन गाए गुन गुन गाए बेगुन गुन गाए अल्लाह के सामने जब जाओगे पूछेंगे बात बेगुन गुन गाए गुन गुन गाए बेगुन गुन गाए गुन 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 गाए गुन गुन गाए बे गुन गुन गाए गुन गाए बे गुन गुन गाए जब जाओगे अल्लाह के सामने जब जाओगे पूछेंगे बात बात बेगुन गुनगान सारे गाने सारे सारे गा मदनी द मदनी मद मदनी ध रे बेगुन नबी नबी का कलमा कलमा नबी का कलमा कलमा नबी का कलमा नबी का नबी का कलमा 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 नबी का कलमा नबी का कलमा ah नाविका कलमा 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 नाविका कलमा हर दम जुबान पे रखना जब बोले पूछेंगे बात अबे गुन गुन गाए गुन गुन गाए बे 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 गुन गुन 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 गाए Rag Yaman for next energy center, Swadhishthan. Power is Shri Brahmadev Saraswati. Quality is creativity. Om Tvameva Tvameva त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री ब्रह्मदेव सरस्वती श्री श्री ब्रह्मदेव सरस्वती सरस्वती साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता श्री निर्मला देवी Durga